Hey guys, doing the voiceover again. The article I chose was No Pain, No Gain, and my name is Victor, and this is IDM 355, Total Quality Management. So the article is basically about a man by the name of Bob Hamburg. He began his career working in Winnipeg, France, where he maintained a steady job for about 20 years. He then saw an opportunity to work as president of finance at Standard Aero. In 2 years at working at Standard, he actually got a promotion to general manager. Bob was always looking for new techniques in running a company, but never found one that he actually liked. He called these techniques band-aids because they were all beneficial in the short run. However, they just merely masked the problem until it got out of hand and needed to be addressed again. So that was unique. He never really found that strategy that worked out for his company. In 1989, Hamburg was first exposed to the concept of TQM. He was invited on a 2.5 day tour of Lucas Industries, where he learned about TQM and its benefits. After that day, Hamburg became a cheerleader for TQM. He got back from the tour and spent his whole weekend drafting a new proposal for his company. He then turned the company inside out. In drafting his proposal for the company, most of his time went into thinking about how he's actually going to apply TQM to Standard Aero. Because at Standard Aero, every order is different and every engine is built in a different way. TQM is traditionally for predictable manufacturing plants where you're on an assembly line and you're kind of creating the same thing over and over. So how do you apply TQM to a company like Standard Aero? The first thing that Hamburg worked on is to find out what his customers actually expected out of the product. He didn't just want his consultants' abstract notions of what he thought his customers wanted. Hamburg assigned teams to draw up questionnaires, surveys, and conference calls to find out what his customers wanted, as well as to build a strong relationship with them. By contacting and visiting his customers, Hamburg estimates that they brought Standard Aero more than $7 million in new business. And this is because the customers were so impressed with Standard Aero's desire to learn that they would actually offer him new jobs in their new business. The next step that Hamburg took was to clean house. Since a lot of employees weren't familiar with the idea of TQM, they didn't think it would be beneficial to the company. So what did Hamburg do? He fired them. He actually ended up firing 7 of his senior managers, which is unheard of in a big company like Standard Aero. Hamburg's next step after clearing house was to set goals and targets and objectives. This is a quote. We wanted to be twice as good as the perceived best anywhere in the world. So we'd basically take the leading company in that area and see what they're promising their customers, and then they would set a target to cut it in half. So if a company's offering to do a job in 30 days, he would offer to do it in 15 days. And that's how he got his company motivated. And as long as they have a target, they know what to work for. Hamburg's next step was to create cells, is what he called them. So he'd set up big charts with every man, machine, anything to do with a certain process. And he would write down every single number associated with it. How many hours the person's worked, how efficient the machine was, and everything, just kept track of everything. He then broke the groups up into 8 to 20 workers and called these cells. He then analyzed each individual cell to find out where the bottleneck was. So who was taking a long time, what processes weren't efficient, and what was holding the company back from making money. And by doing this, he really turned the company around. He found the bottlenecks and he made it happen. TQM basically saves Standard Aero, saves the company. Yeah, TQM cost the company $13 million and 7 of the senior managers, which he had to fire. But it probably saved the company 10 times that amount. And it's probably what's going to keep the company out of the red, for years to come.